I Can't Read, Chapter 2. I Am Not the R Word, written by Sir Ervin Williams. The school year was passing, and I was placed in the newly positioned white teacher's classroom. Now, being at a predominantly black school and had a black teachers my entire life, I getting the white teacher was very interesting. For some reason, I understood energy at a young age. This teacher did not want to be here with these poor, unfortunate, downtrodden black children. Every day she came to work, she reminded us, I could be anywhere, but I wanted to come work here. Mrs. D would constantly tell us, I'm trying to help you. But she would sit in the back of the classroom on her phone, the classroom phone, with her husband, arguing about whatever was the hot button topic that day. She was a terrible teacher, didn't interact with her students, cried daily, and never really graded any of our work. Her data convinced her that I couldn't read or write, which wasn't true. I just didn't want to read and write for her. Finally, my school, Lowell Elementary, had convinced my mother that I needed these courses to help me move through this educational system. My mother wanted what's best for her only son, so she agreed and allowed them to enter me into these courses. Now Mrs. D had me placed in the resource classroom, looking Mrs. Williams in her eyes, pretending like I wanted to be in the room because of the candy sitting on her desk. This candy was given to the students who participated willingly in the lessons provided by Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Williams was a well put together older woman who had a scarf to match every single one of her business skirt suits. She would drape the scarves around her shoulders diagonally, wear big framed red glasses, and smelled of Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds perfume. She didn't tolerate slacking in her classroom, and she often reminded us with who was in charge, with a swat from her garden ruler or a pinch on the arm. Although this may seem cruel now, it wasn't in the 1980s. As well as Mrs. Williams didn't use her authority to whoop us often. I sat still for about 2 months with pinched arms and bruised backs, watching students go to sleep, some licking glue off of their hands, while others moved exactly the way Mrs. Williams wanted them to. They received high praises and candy during the lesson. I received bruised arms and special seats in the corner. Here I am, alone, and knowing I'm not supposed to be in here. Why do they think I can't read? I mean, I just won the writing competition in school. My story and pictures were displayed in the hallways with a badge that said first place. My principal had just celebrated me with my own private ice cream party, but here I am, sitting with the special ones. What's up, Ervin? You like sitting in the corner or something? Robert said as he licked his Tootsie Pop. He had the chocolate one too, my favorite. I thought no, I said with an aggravated smile and piercing eyes. Robert sat there slurping louder and louder and louder and louder until it just echoed in my memory. Well, slurp, you should slurp. Do what I do, slurp. And what's that, retarded Robert? I retorted. Pretend you don't know anything. That's how you get the candy. I figured it out. Oh, and don't call me that name. I'm not retarded, Robert screamed. Well, I'm not either. I don't know why they have me in here with y'all dumbass kids anyway. I was getting angry about every slurp and every second. Well, if you were so smart, maybe you need to do your work and get up out of here. Slurp. Get out of my face before I punch you in your stupid ass eye, Robert. And stop slurping that 10-cent sucker like a sucker. Sucker. Whatever, ignorant E. See, you call me retarded Robert and I could call you ignorant E. Robert started laughing hysterically and started walking away through the other children. This made my blood boil. So I shouted across the classroom, ignorant doesn't start with an E, jackass. But the name for you is accurate. I knew I was wrong. I knew I was wrong. But he had it coming. Who does he think he's talking to? Robert's eyes started tearing up. He stopped in the middle of his tracks, turned towards me, and I swear I saw horns come from his forehead. I had forgotten. We were told not to stare Robert up because he would throw tantrums out of this world. I had forgotten Mrs. Williams' training course about Robert. So Robert stops his slurps. He stopped slurping his sucker, dropped it on the ground, and came towards me in a fit of rage. He flipped over every desk, every book, threw books on the floor, and powered through the other children like they were nothing. And before I knew it, he ran towards me so fast, I stopped and I just punched him. right in the eye. Robert falls to the floor and I yell, "Get up! I'm not these teachers. I'm not afraid of your ugly ass." But he didn't move. All of a sudden his eyes rolled into the back of his head and his body started shaking and the kids started crying and screaming, breathing heavily. I glared around the room. All of the children were looking at me like I had committed murder. My thoughts were interrupted. Oh my God, oh my God. I hear Mrs. Williams yelling from across the room, "He's having a seizure, someone go get the nurse." Ervin, didn't I tell you all not to get him stared up at the beginning of the year? I told you not to bother him. I didn't say anything to him. He came over bothering me. What was I supposed to do? Let him beat me up? Miss Williams, you and I both know I wasn't having that. Get your things. Get your things. We're going to the principal's office. I want you to explain to him how you would think that this was okay. I'm disappointed in you, Ervin. Mrs. Williams turned around and tended to Robert while waiting for the nurse. "Get a spoon. It would help him from swallowing his tongue." Keisha yelled from across the room. "Shut your dumb ass up," Tiffany yelled back. One thing I realized in the special room is that these kids get away with a lot of cursing because of their disabilities. Now here I am sitting in the principal's office waiting on Mr. Margaret to come in and give me the "I'm so disappointed in you" Ervin speech. I looked around his office and I realized this is the first time I've ever even been in here. See, my sister Tisha had been in here often. She was always fighting or getting in trouble with a teacher or something. But I, on the other hand, had never been in here. Not for anything bad anyway. Looking at the pictures on his desk, I was quickly reminded that Mr. Mulpert was a 300-pound, 6'2" in stature and looked mean as a snake. I heard the door creep open behind me and here it was. But all of a sudden, a high-pitched voice of comfort pierced my ears. "You want some water, baby?" It was Miss Carey. I loved her. She was always so nice to me, nice to my family. "No, ma'am, I'm fine." "Oh, so you do have manners and know better," Miss Carey said in a sarcastic tone. "Yes, ma'am." "Why you say that?" Miss Carey walked over to me, sat next to me. She placed her hands on my hand, looked me in my eyes, and with the most compassion she could muster, she stated, "Ervin, I asked Mr. Mulpert could I come in here and speak with you because I know you are a good child. You have a good mother at home and she's doing the best she can. You can't be at school fighting, boy." But he came towards me. He hit me. He tried to hit me. And my mama told us if anybody ever tries to hit us, we should hit them back. I rudely interrupted. "Are you finished?" Miss Carey had taken a tone with me I had never heard before. "Yes, ma'am." I quickly remembered that my mother gave Miss Carey permission to whoop us if we got out of line. "Ervin, I'm not mad at you that you chose to defend yourself. You have every right to do so. However, to fight Robert, Ervin? That just isn't right. Then to hear the names you called him the R word? The R word should not be used in this school or around me. Do you understand me?" I sat in silence, looking all around and looking at the ground. I asked, "Do you hear me, boy?" "Yes, ma'am." "Now my son, your friend, has special needs. How would you like it if someone called him the names that you called Robert? Huh? You would be ready to fight, right? Well, imagine how Robert feels. Imagine how he feels. Have you ever taken that into consideration?" There were too many questions coming towards me at once. I understood exactly what she was saying, but my young mind couldn't wrap around them fast enough. I retorted, "Miss Carey, I'm not even supposed to be in that classroom. Why do they think I'm why do they think I'm special? That woman thinks I'm dumb." "Well, are you?" Miss Carey said with a stern face. "No." "Then that's all that matters. If you don't think you're dumb, Ervin, then you're not dumb. You have an exceptional mind. If you want people to take you seriously, then you have to show them you are capable of doing it. You can be the brightest child in the classroom, but if you are not putting anything down on that paper, boy, or reading when you called on, what do you think these teachers gonna think about you, huh? What do you think these teachers are going to think about you?" Your education is a tool. It is a tool to get you out of this mess. Don't you want to retire your mother one day? Don't you want to buy her nice things like a house and a car? Don't you? Yes, ma'am, I said through held-back tears. Well, you're going to have to prove that you are smart to yourself. You are going to have to prove that you are smart to yourself. If you want to get out of that class, then you know what you have to do. I've already called your mother. She says she beating your ass when you get home because she know you know better. And I know you know better. Oh, man. Well, when you know better, you do better. Miss Carey patted me on my shoulders and proceeded to walk out the office. Before she opened the door, she whispered, baby, good luck. Because, child, you're going to need it. You know your mama crazy. She laughs as she walks out the room. I sat there with my head down looking at the floor and contemplating going home or running away. I chose to go home because I knew food was there. Later at the dinner table, I sat in pain watching my sisters have a full-course meal while I'm suffering through spinach and beans. Yuck. Since you want to act like a damn fool, we're going to see if you like eating like one. My mother screamed from across the dinner table. But mama, mama, nothing. You're at school messing with a child who can't defend themselves? Then you send him into a seizure? What the hell is wrong with you, boy? But mama, boy, if you interrupt me one more time, I'm going to show you how a retarded motherfucker can really act. My mother was seething. And my sisters were over there laughing, trying not to let my mother see them. If y'all think this shit funny, you can go over there and join your bean-eating ass brother. By now, my sisters lost full composure. They were full-blown in tears, tear-jerking, knee-slapping laughter at the expense of their baby brother. You really messed up, baby brother. I mean, you really messed up. You have to go to school and apologize to Robert. Isn't Robert your friend? Happy said while biting into her piece of meatloaf. Exhausted by the question, yes, then you have to apologize. It's the right thing to do. Or, baby brother, you can just take detention and get it over with like I do, Tisha said, laugh and shut up. My mother and Happy said in unison like they were in a 1970s sitcom and this was their catchphrase. Baby brother, you know what you have to do. So just do it. I swear to you, you will be a better person because of it. But in the meantime, he's going to be a better person because when we're done with dinner, he's going to wash these dishes. He's going to stack these dishes. And when you're done, you can write down these damn walls because I'm too mad to whoop you now. Oh, baby, but tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's another day. I sat there looking down at my spinach and beans. Damn. I know she gonna do it too. Thank you all so much for listening to I Can't Read Chapter 2, I Am Not the R Word. Now is the time where you can pause the screen and get a pen and a piece of paper so you can jot down the questions. Question number 1. Describe in your own words Sir Ervin's teacher, Mrs. D. Question number 2. What was Robert's advice to Sir Ervin about Mrs. Williams' classroom? Question number 3. Explain what happened to Robert after Sir Ervin hit him. Question number 4. What did Mrs. Williams explain to all of the students at the beginning of the year? Question number 5. Critical response. What was the advice Miss Carey gave Sir Ervin? Explain how you can apply her advice in your own life. Now for the answers to I Can't Read Chapter 2. Answer number 1. Mrs. D was a horrible teacher. She didn't watch the students, grade papers, and assume Sir Ervin couldn't read. Answer number 2. Robert's advice to Sir Ervin was to pretend he doesn't know anything. That's how you can get the candy from Mrs. Williams. Answer number 3. Mrs. Williams told the students to not make Robert angry because he would throw tantrums that they couldn't control. Answer number 4. After Sir Ervin punched Robert, Robert had a seizure. Answer number 5. Critical response. The advice Miss Carey gave Sir Ervin was, you are not dumb. You have an exceptional mind. If you want people to take you seriously, you have to do the work. The way I can apply this information to my life is to know I can do anything I put my mind to. I don't have to prove anything to anyone but myself. A person is not dumb because others may think they are. It's what you think about yourself. That's all that matters. Thank you so much for tuning in to I Can't Read Chapter 2. I'm Not the R Word. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on YouTube at Sir Ervin Williams. You all have an amazing day and a beautiful tomorrow. Peace.